So today on Engine Noises, we're going to be riding around in 1948 Dodge B1-D 1-ton wrecker. And today I have my niece, BB, joining me in this episode, and she's going to give me her thoughts on this truck as well after we do some of my personal thoughts. You ready for this, BB? All right, let's get right into it here. So just starting off here, you know, it doesn't always fire up on the first shot, but being a foot starter, it's really cool, in my opinion. I don't know about BB's opinion. She gets a little freaked out about it.
Watch out, there's a car coming.
I see it. But once we get it running and everything, though, this truck is a little finicky every now and then. It is 75 years old, so you know, it's got its little quirks and stuff like that. But one of those things I've noticed is it has to rev up quite a bit to catch that first gear. And I know you might be able to, and you see it starts bouncing around sometimes too. But whenever it does that and stuff, you know, you just have to play with it a little bit. You can see this is kind of the...
This thing's bouncing.
Kind of the ownership of an old vehicle, you know, and it takes a little bit of finessing to get it right. Bentley, I know you don't personally like that all that much. What do you think on it?
It's a little bumpy. I kind of like the engine noise, how it just goes loud, like an actual race car or something.
Yeah. Well, that is part of it when I have to rev it up so much to get it to take gear. But another thing on a truck this old as well is, like, you always got to watch your brakes. You know, you might have to pump them a little bit, and I'm sure people are aware of like having air in your lines and things like that. So pump it up, make sure your brakes actually work before you have to get to that stop sign or something.
Yeah, you can like start like riding close to your house, like so you can like. Wait, do you start like riding it close to your house to make sure the brakes work first before you just start?
Well, they work, so it's more or less just old brakes. You got to make sure they pump them up. So, but other things in an old truck, you definitely want to do some things like watch your gauges, which I've mentioned before in a different video. And you always want to watch your gauges, especially in an old truck, because if you start to overheat or something, it could be a lot worse in an old truck. Harder to fix and things like that.
It's hot in here and it doesn't have an AC in here. That's how old it is.
Well, that's another thing. In an old vehicle, not normally do they have AC. This one doesn't have that either. Now, we do have a vent down here so that we get some air in.
Oh, yeah, I feel it.
And that's always nice to have in these older vehicles.
Like on the feet?
Yeah, it only goes down, but you know, it's coming from that vent right up there, you see? Something you might not in front of it.
I don't see it.
Pull that lever back and you'll see it move up there. We'll pull up here and I'll show you. But you see, when we're moving around, there's a lot of squeaks and noises as well. You know, in a truck this old, it's if you don't have something that's fully restored, you're probably not going to have a quiet vehicle. It tends to be pretty loud, a lot of noises.
Gosh.
But that's nothing to really be afraid of, though. You just got to know what your noises are. But
yeah, it's kind of like when you go down the hill.
Yep.
It's like you just let go and then it just slides for some reason. You don't even have to pull on the. You don't even have to go or anything.
Yep. But that's kind of what it is like driving around in this vehicle, though. You know, it's definitely, there's no power steering, so it turns a little hard and things like that. But it turns pretty good when you're moving. Another thing you need to keep in mind when you're driving around is your lights on an old vehicle. How did you get them in there? Did you put them in there? Were they already in there? Are they going to continue to work?
Yeah, I don't know.
Stuff like that, but
it's neat though. Because you got all the old stuff. I think you can still hotwire it.
Don't say that.
Why?
Don't say that. But one of the things that Bentley you haven't experienced yet, when a bunch of people see this vehicle.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that when you're driving it around, people see it, and you're going to get a bunch of people giving you thumbs up and waving.
Yeah.
Things things like that. You saw it
Yeah.
kind of with those people we passed back there
Yeah,
where they were
because
waving.
this is like an old car, and they're like, wow, this car is like how many ever years old, and you still got the paint on it, and it's still
Yep.
like intact.
People
still.
definitely see it and they think, you know, I don't know what they're thinking, but a lot of people like them. They love seeing these old vehicles on the road. So,
Oh, my brother, he loves seeing the old vehicles.
well, let's not mention your brother too much.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I know.
one day he'll get a chance to ride around with me in it, but not right now, you know. But he got a few more years before he's big enough so the camera can catch him. When you're driving around in these vehicles too, you need to be very mindful of your surroundings, like who's behind you, who's on your sides.
Yeah.
Like this isn't a vehicle.
Yeah, so like if you break down, they don't come crashing into you or something like that.
That's one thing, but also just like this truck doesn't go very quickly. It's a very slow riding truck. It's probably got,
And a very loud one too.
it's 45 miles per hour is about the max speed, and you got to keep that in mind if you're driving it around. It's okay to drive it around town, but it's probably not the best truck to go out on the highway with since
Yeah.
it can't reach
Yeah.
highway speeds.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're just gonna ride around for the rest of the time here, and I hope y'all enjoy this little drive around the truck. You hear some of the ambient noises,
Yeah.
and I'll let Bentley do some talking if she wants to. Bentley, what do you think of this truck? Do you like it?
I think it's cool because of the sound, and like you have to turn the throttle every now and then. It's neat. I like how there's the leather like everywhere. This like made out of leather half of the time.
Yeah.
And because it has a roll down window. I love that.
Roll down windows are definitely something of a past. It's not something you get in a modern car.
The funny thing is that what if someone decided, oh, I want roll down windows on a Tesla. Well, then why would you want it on a Tesla? Because then it'd be kind of goofy too.
Yep. Roll down windows on a modern car. It definitely looks a lot.
Kind of
It would
weird. It'll like
be a little bit strange.
yeah, you start sweating, and you're like, why are you sweating? Because I had to pull down this window. Because there's no AC.
Yep. We'll be back at the shop here in just a second, so.
Alrighty. Oh wow. Why is that king? It's kind of neat how this thing you just let go of the steering wheel and it'll like slide back
Mm-hmm.
until whatever.
All right, we're pulling back into Evers Motor Company here
Yeah,
now.
boy.
So
Don't hit me with your elbow.
here's the thing that I'm gonna leave us with here. Let's let it roll back just a little bit since it's going to. What I'm gonna leave us with here is like when you come to these old trucks like this, don't expect everything to work just right, and things like the engine, they're gonna have their little quirks where they're gonna idle up real quick, or maybe it's gonna start jumping around or
Yeah.
something like that. But it's not something to get too terribly like concerned with all the time, unless, you know, I mean, obviously there are times where it should be concerning, but like it's not always going to be a concerning thing. So don't freak out too much. Just drive around and have a good time. And with that, Bentley, you want to say anything before I turn this out?
Bye.
All right, see y'all later.